Good anytime, my fuzzies, to a quick review of a game I just finished. All opinions in this video are mine and mine alone, so just please enjoy and don't take them too seriously. Thank you. Good anytime, my fuzzyites, and welcome to a quick review of Batman Arkham Asylum. As always with these videos, I like to rate them 0, 1 to 5. 0, 1 being that whatever it was trying to go for just did not connect with me, it just didn't go over well. No. It was terrible in a lot of ways. That just didn't work. 3 meaning that whatever it was going for, it hit it basically. It did the basic minimum thing it had to do with that particular category. It didn't make me sad about it, didn't make me overly excited for more. It just hit it. 0 bad game. Yes, 0 bad. Well, not necessarily a bad game, but a bad game in that category, in my opinion. 10 GG. Yes. And then 5, being that what it was trying to do really blew me out of the water. It went above and beyond what it had to do to create a really good experience with that category. So, starting off as always, we will go for story. So the story for the Batman Arkham series, it takes place, I think, many years into Batman being established in the world and whatnot. And in this particular place in time, the Joker has gotten out of Arkham Asylum again, wouldn't you know it, and Batman stops him. Though when taking him back to Arkham, he notes that it was a little too easy to take Joker off. Chaos ensues. As it turns out, Joker had a plan all along to get back into Arkham. He escapes his captivity and runs amok, killing a lot of the guards, kidnapping people, freeing people that should not be freed, and all around doing hooliganistic things. It turns out by the end he is working with a doctor who didn't know it was Joker to begin with on a thing called a Titan formula, which basically makes people really buff and strong like Bane, and easily controlled, I think, by Joker. Yeah. So then it is our job to then go after that. And at the end, we confront the Joker, take him down, destroy what was left of the Titan in the one lab, but there may or may not be more Titan out in the world. We do not know. So overall, with the premise of the game, I really liked it. It was a big open world. You'd go from one area to another. A lot of the story is given to you directly, as it should be. And yeah, just the characters really liven it up. You really feel the pressure to get the whole Titan formula thing under wraps and finish that off so he can't cause any more mischief. Yeah. Like I said, I like it. The story is a good one, just chasing Joker. It's kind of weird stepping back and looking at it because you're literally just going from one building to another building back to the one building in order to do certain things. But I like it. It was believable. It was fun going from place to place. They slowly grew. The story was interesting with Joker doing all this. I think the one thing is with the ending, spoiler alerts, the Joker takes the Titan formula for himself to make him super duper buff, which isn't exactly what the Joker would do. It makes sense it makes sense sorta in the storyline going forward, him doing that chain reacts to the other games. But like in general, Joker has never been a physical fighter. We even saw that in the challenge rooms. He's not very much of a fighter and whatnot. He can throw down, but he's very slow. He's very much slower with it than Batman is. But either way, so he tightens himself up, takes on Batman. He loses and whatnot still, but yeah. Yeah, that's one thing where a lot of people give the game a little bit of crap for, is because, like, he's not a brute. Why would he go into a brute? Even the boss battle he did have wasn't good. I mean, I'll get to that in other places, and now story is good. Like, it was a fine boss battle. It worked fine and good enough, but it just meh overall, to me at least. Pretty easy and simple, especially considering the other bosses we fought, like Poison Ivy, who wasn't that hard either, but at least she changed it up a bit and was a little more difficult. Or even Killer Croc, who was really fun to fight in his sort of boss battle thing. Or Scarecrow with his world was interesting to sneak around and go. But besides that, like, I'm not going to take the other games into account. Just this game on its own for the story. If you know the Joker character, is really weird for him to just throw down. But overall, I'm going to give it a solid 5 out of 5. Because taking out the Joker doing that's weird. It does make sense, kind of makes sense in a story progression where he has the stuff. Batman won't take it. Well, fine, then I'll take it. I'll show you what you could become. It does kind of make sense. I'm not thrilled with how the story ended, but it was a pretty good ending. I wish the boss battle there was different, at least, to do something else than what they did. But still, a solid game, solid story, all throughout. 5 out of 5. Now with characters, this game had a lot of characters in it. You had the main characters that were throughout, being Batman and Joker. Then you had other side characters who were still a big part of it, but not as much, being like Commissioner Gordon, Warden Sharp, Harley Quinn. Scarecrow kind of came up more than once, which was good. Yeah. But overall with the characters, but besides just seeing them in game and having their little bouts with them, you also got little recordings, interview tapes that give you 5 interview tapes for every character or every villain that you see in the story, from Victor Zsasz, the Riddler, Scarecrow, Joker, Killer Croc, Harley Quinn. That gives you a little more insight into how they operate, how they think, their motivations and whatnot, and even kind of hints that they knew about the invasion of Arkham ahead of time, which is very interesting. For me, I like when games give you little recordings like this, and here it makes sense. It's weird to have them sort of put all over the island like it is, but also if the Riddler's getting all this stuff and putting it out there for Batman to find, that's fine. That makes a little more sense than them just leaving stuff around. It's all part of Riddler's game and rewarding the player with stuff. And it's a good way to reward people with stuff. Because like I said, you get an in-depth look at how characters progressed. Like Harley Quinn, hearing her come into Arkham, and then her meeting the Joker, falling for the Joker's manipulations, and then helping him escape the first time. Or the second time. One of the times. So overall with characters, they have a lot of personality to them. I really like them. I like even characters you didn't really see, Killer Croc, were interesting in how when they did have lines, what they spoke about and how they spoke about it. And just really solid all around. Oh, kitty kidding himself. So overall for characters as well, I'm going to give it a 5 out of 5 because I really like these characters. I thought they were really well defined. Again, besides Joker taking the thing for himself, but still, I could see him doing that to get one up on Batman somehow. As a taunt thing. But either way. 5 out of 5 for characters. They're really well defined, mostly going into the interview tapes, to understand how they work, what they've done prior to the game's events, and how terrifying they can truly be. Moving on to the setting of Arkham Asylum. You basically have the big island of Arkham Asylum with the north, east, and west portions of the map. But then you also have the smaller, or the buildings you go to. Like the Arkham Mansion, Botanical Gardens, Penitentiary, Intensive Ward, Visitor Center. I'm sure I'm missing some. But anyways, these areas were big. They fit into this overall story because these are places like intensive treatment, I think, is the first place inmates come into from the outside, where they are categorized, detained if they're really bad, whatnot. Botanical Gardens, that one's a weird one. I guess it's for inmates who aren't as bad, so they have somewhere to see pretty flowers and just enjoy nature a little bit more. But still, that's kind of weird for an insane asylum. The penitentiary for the really, really crazed inmates who can't really be saved, unfortunately, who are very dangerous to people around them. Overall, all the areas have their own unique look to them. If you showed me a picture of if you showed me a picture of anywhere in the game, I'd most likely be able to say, yep, that's Arkham Mansion. It has the wooden upholstery and whatnot, and looks more rich and royal. That's the penitentiary. It looks more caged with electrical grounds and the scanning doors. Yep, that's intensive care because it has more cells, darker, more... what is the term? Oh, what is it? More defense mechanisms in place in case something goes wrong. So yeah, overall, I like the environments. They were very nice. They weren't very big, which is good, so you could just run through them, come back, and have fun overall. So overall, I'm going to give the environment a 5 out of 5 again, because there were a lot of areas, and they were very nice and well-defined, and had their own little things. It didn't really feel samey to me. I really liked it. Going on to our last thing of it all that I'm going to... maybe last thing. We'll see if I want to do the other one. Is the game mechanics. So the game mechanics... there's a few mechanics in the game. There's first that is combat, which is used a lot, which is basically you just press one button to punch inmates to knock them down. When they are down, you can press another assortment of buttons to take them out quickly. But if you do that while other guards are up, they will attack you and knock you, get a free hit in, basically, and stop you from taking that one inmate out. There's also... when certain guards attack, you can counter and knock them back. After getting a certain amount of combo hits in, you can use a special move to take guys down faster. Besides that, there are also armed thugs where you have to take out silently or more carefully. Otherwise, they can shoot you down and take all your health out quickly. They aren't really found in combat, but they are around and dangerous. In combat, though, there are different versions of guards. Some of them have weapons where if they hit you, you'll be disorientated, making it easier for other people to hit you if you're not careful. You have the shock stick inmates, who you must jump over and then hit a couple times to knock them down and take them out eventually. If you don't, you'll get hurt by the shock if you just go head on punching them. Besides that, there's also the knife-wielding enemies who cannot be countered. The shocking enemies can't be countered as well. But the dual-wielding knife enemies, because there's only dual wields, there's no single wields apparently. You must stun them, which is the stun, and then take them down that way. Otherwise, again, they'll just defend themselves and you won't get any points, and your combo will end. Besides that, there is the predatory sections where you must silently evade armed guards by going from gargoyle to gargoyle or just place to place and silently go behind to take out guards. Now with this, there's many other gadgets, as it is a Batman game, and Batman should have he has a lot of gadgets. There's things like his classic batarangs, which can knock out enemies to the ground, which can allow you for a quick takedown if you're not close enough, or you can do it for multiple enemies, so you can take down at least one while the other two recover. There's a grapple, which can pull people towards you or over ledges, so that will take them out immediately. There's blast, whatever, which you can spray on the ground and explode, which will also take out enemies or just knock them out, stun them for a bit on the ground if need be. There's a zip line to get around faster, but if people get in your way, you can also kick them down. There's a lot of other things I'm probably not mentioning for game mechanics, but that's okay. If you play the game or watch my thing, you'll see them all. But there is a lot to work with, and I really enjoy that. The fighting feels really nice and natural. Annoying when I miss. There's a few times where I either thought someone was going to hit me, encountered way too soon, or they were going to hit me. I pressed counter, but I guess I was too late, or it didn't take. Yeah. But overall, the combat does work really well, and I love the predatory missions and other whatevers. And other challenges in game where you just go around and take them out silently, figuring out the best way to do so. Because there's so many things you can do with your items to do stuff, like using the there's a back grapple, to take out floor beneath guards, or not guards, inmates, to make them fall, or blasting a weak wall to knock out guys as well. There's a lot to do, there's a lot to play with. There is, going forward, they did update a lot of the stuff, but for this game itself, I'm going to give it another 5 out of 5, because the combat was just really good. It was nice, I understood it. I just didn't have the power to do much with it, but I did really good. The gadgets were amazing to use, especially in the predatory missions where you had to be silent and taking them out. It's fun, especially in the challenge mode, figuring out how to do certain missions they ask you to do. It's just fun overall. A really lovely time. But either way, overall, I'm going to give the game... Salem. That's not nice. Overall, I'm going to give the game a 5 out of 5 for me, because just the story was really engaging, and I loved it all the way to the end, just seeing all these characters interacting with each other. A lot or a little was fun. There was no Bane tapes, were there? That's weird. He was a mainstay. I don't know. Maybe there was, and I didn't reckon. Anyways, story was good all the way up to the end, but even the ending was fine. I enjoyed it, even though the boss battle could have been better. The characters themselves were really fleshed out, and I liked listening to the tapes, getting to know them a little better and their psychoses. It was really fun. The setting was nice, with a lot of varied areas. All areas different, a lot of ways to get around through vents and whatnot. And it just felt natural in what they would really make in a lot of the places. And then the game mechanics were really good. They really went above and beyond, because it could have just been a simple beat 'em up with no gadgets, or just completely gadgets and no fighting, or they could have messed up the fighting in some way. But no, they brought everything to the table, and they really knocked it out of the park to make a really enjoyable game, especially a really enjoyable Batman game, which I loved, and I really recommend playing it and the other games in the series. But either way, thank you, my fuzzy-gates, for watching this quick review. Like I said, I love the Batman Arkham series. It's one of my favorite series out there. I really recommend it and can't recommend it enough. But that is the end of Batman Arkham Asylum. I'll probably be doing Arkham City later on in the winter, because it takes place in the winter area, technically. And I need more winter games. So anyways, until then, have a good anytime. Take care.